Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And a lot is going on at this hour as it relates to former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. So I just walked out of a news conference so that I could be here with you folks. About 4 to 5 New York City television stations are here at the network looking for statements as it relates to the mayor's health and more specifically wanting to talk to our owner-operator, John Catsimatidis. And again, as we speak, folks, as we're on the air live, Mr. Catsimatidis right down the hall is continuing to talk with the TV stations, the print reporters, and my colleague Greg Kelly is down there with them, with me right here in studio to answer your questions. And the number to reach us live right now, 800-848-9222, is the news director of the Red Apple Audio Networks, and that is James Flippin. James, thank you so much for joining us and taking some of these telephone calls.
Dominic, my absolute pleasure. I wish it was under better circumstances, but obviously Rudy Giuliani is a guy that we all love and respect so much. And as a guy who grew up during 9/11, the memories, the image, the idea of a city being put at ease in that moment by Mayor Giuliani is something I'll never forget.
Right. So what is the, and let's go ahead and open up the phone lines officially. What is the, well, you know what, before I play some Giuliani sound, recently, Rudy being Rudy, let's put it that way, on the crime issue, tough as nails and so on. And he did clean up the city. But the number to reach us, 800, or any other topic you want to talk about today, 800-848-9222. Dominic Carter here with you, as well as my colleague James Flippin. What is the latest information that you are receiving as it relates to the former mayor?
So, you know, Ted Goodman is a guy that we know because he's worked with the mayor for so many years. And when the mayor was still on this network, we got to know Ted personally. Well, he put out a statement shortly before noon with a positive update, more or less saying that things were looking a bit better at that time. Mayor Giuliani recovering from pneumonia and is being monitored as a precautionary measure. Of course, the statement from Goodman mentions that on September 11th, it was Mayor Giuliani who ran toward the toxic pile, was trying to do everything he could in that moment to help and lead the city, and that has been a source of a lot of health problems for first responders, firefighters, EMS, cops. Well, that's true for Mayor Giuliani. He was previously diagnosed with a condition that impacts his breathing, restrictive airway disease. So he was being hooked up to a ventilator while in the hospital in Florida. He's off that now, breathing on his own. That's a good sign. That's
very
big.
Good sign.
So we're really happy to hear about that. Also, Mayor Giuliani has his family at his side. Goodman's statement continues that the mayor is the ultimate fighter, has demonstrated that time and time again.
Yes.
And his family deeply appreciates the outpouring of love and support, which is something that here at the radio station we've obviously felt in a big way. So it's a critical but stable condition right now for Mayor Giuliani, and Goodman's statement asks for the prayers to keep coming.
And you know what? Perhaps the prayers worked last night, because frankly, it wasn't looking good at all last night. I think we all know that, private information that we don't put out there publicly. It wasn't looking good last night. But with Rudy Giuliani, he is a fighter. He is a fighter. And I think you alluded to that just a second ago. So you and I, we see the telephone calls coming in, 800-848-9222. But I want you, and this is classic Rudy Giuliani, I want you to listen to this, in which he says the best approach to crime is to see what Democrats have done and do the exact opposite.
And I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. You know what the best approach to crime is? It's really simple. Look at everything the Democrats have done in the last 4 or 5 years and do the opposite. because they've actually turned around every one of the programs that I began becoming very familiar with in 1981. And it was a brilliant program. I'm a participant in it. I was the best example of its working on a large scale. But I'm not the sole architect of it. James Q. Wilson, Professor George Kelling, my police commissioner, Bratton, my other police commissioners. I can go on and on. A lot of President Reagan's administration. People don't realize that the agenda of the 1990s came from the Attorney General's Task Force on Violent Crime report in 1983. You can find almost everything in there, including the 1994 bill. The career criminal program.
Do you think that
they reversed all of that?
Yeah.
They reversed it all.
Oh, it's psychotic what they've done. And I wonder if you think that is this gonna change them? Are we gonna watch the left have to recalculate how they look at law and order and crime? Because I feel like they're committing political suicide. At some point they have to wake up, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're on an issue with crime that, they've surprised me a lot, and we've surprised me a lot. Things happen you don't anticipate. I do not believe that human beings are going to give up their desire for safety.
No.
Just because of the Marxism of the idiot party. Yeah. Or because a fool like the mayor of... I mean, you had a line the other night that I'm still laughing about and repeating all the time when you said that that Chicago picked the stupidest person in Chicago to be mayor.
I think it's
By
true.
the way, it's not a joke.
No, it's not.
It's not a joke.
And it was the same thing with the
classic Rudy Giuliani, James Flippin.
Absolutely, Dominic. And you know what I love so much about that statement at the front end was Mayor Giuliani saying, look, I've got the game plan right out in front of me. Whatever Democrats do concerning crime, I go ahead and do the opposite. Right. And we've heard recent comments from Governor Ron DeSantis down in Florida saying, hey, I've got the game plan for what to do as governor by just following New York and New Jersey and saying, I'll do the opposite. So it's kind of funny that years later we're seeing a similar thing. And I saw a great message on Twitter the other day talking about Mayor Giuliani as this news was coming out, that the left will never forgive him for making the city a place where 20-somethings from Wisconsin can come and thrive. It's really amazing to think about. There's this sort of mindset from some long-standing New Yorkers that there was a romanticism in the grittiness of the 70s and the 80s and the stick-up kids. Yeah, I mean, that's what is so mind-boggling to me.
The smut of 42nd Street.
And it's something that I never really personally experienced except in stories. Mayor Giuliani's the only guy I ever knew of as that first mayor before we then had this run of sort of big-time progressivism after Mayor Bloomberg's administration. So to me, the concept of Manhattan transforming, it had already happened, but I knew that the guy that got the credit for it, rightfully so, Mayor Giuliani.
Let's take some telephone calls. My colleague James Flippin here with me, Dominic Carter with you folks, and of course the situation as it relates to former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, some health issues. It wasn't looking good last night, looking better today, and that's wonderful news. Hopefully the mayor can recover.
Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.